All right, sit down. What is up, Watch Fam?
Oh my God, I thought we
We're
were
in the studio. What is up, Watch Fam? I am Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
And I'm Michael, sponsored by Nomos.
Yes,
of all people.
Today's little conversation is sponsored by Nomos.
Yes.
We're talking about how to get your watch noticed, and it's not just for the sake of it being noticed, but I also think,
Although
that is a good
when
thing.
you go to Starbucks and someone says, you're like paying and like, wow, I love that watch. It's like, thank you.
And there's really kind of only one way for that to really happen at scale.
Yep.
And then two, there's a nice little byproduct, which is not being generic, being individual, and how it's kind of empowering. And that's a big message today, but I don't think it's really embraced.
Well, you touched on it perfectly when we were talking before, when you said it's the odds of you liking a black dial watch, that being your favorite color watch,
Yes.
are very, very, very low.
Yes.
The options are there, but the odds of that being the watch are low.
Yeah, I understand why people want to buy or own, common watches, like very, very popular divers and
We
stuff
both
like
do.
that. Of course, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
But I just think that if someone never deviates from that very common, very kind of generic, albeit beautiful,
Yes.
but very generic, style,
Yeah.
then they probably means that they never really tried to. They never really
Right.
explored what
Right.
their actual taste was.
Well, you're
right?
nervous a lot of the times. If everybody's wearing a black dial watch, it is just a statement to wear a blue dial, even to a certain degree.
Yeah, it was black, and then if you were bold, you went blue, and now if you're really bold, you went green, because the conglomerates
But
told
it might
you to.
be too bold.
Yeah, right. But
You
green,
ask the person you're buying the watch with, you're like, I don't know, is green like, am I gonna hate green?
Exactly, which is
Right.
crazy. So I think the point is here, going outside of the watch community, going to the real world, the mass market.
Yes.
The only way, in my view, or in my experience, which has been for a long time now, it's 8 years wearing watches, and it's totally independent of price. I've worn Nautilus, I've worn Tourbillon, I've worn all these
Yep.
crazy expensive watches. The only watches that consistently get compliments are colorful watches.
Yeah. Well,
that is it.
And even besides compliments, the watch that feels, especially you of all people, you wear small watches with diamonds.
Yes.
The watches that feel most like you and not like you're just buying, not into a trend, but into the commonality, like that is a good watch.
Exactly.
Are very distinctly you. I can recognize a you watch
Yes.
if someone put like 10 watch YouTubers watches on a channel.
Yes.
On a table.
Yep.
I'd be like, that's Christian.
It's the one that's too small.
It's the one that's too small and
in
full
gold.
of diamonds.
Yeah,
Actually, is that a woman's watch?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
Yes, it is.
I'm like,
yeah.
it's Christian's.
So yeah, the whole point is like you're finding. You guys said before, like the far reaches of your personal taste and style, right? Like the edges of the world here.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that. When in reality, it's that simple choice, that simple, like
Today,
going out
when
on a limb.
I was driving my daughter to school. I wore a pink watch instead. She
Exa-
freaked out, but also I wore a pink watch
Yes,
today. It's fun.
electric blue, pink, just
Orange, yeah.
orange, exactly. Just brighter colors. And there's great history with those being popular.
Of course.
It's just that now obviously there are a couple of models that are doing it well, but they're hard to get.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that to me is a shame.
Yes.
But the sponsor of today's conversation, which is Nomos, in truth, embodies that completely. They offer a whole catalog of brilliant colors, very individual, just amazing in their Tetra collection and their Club Campus collection, all throughout.
Yep.
So obviously they're our partner, but it is the truth.
I love Nomos.
They have an individual, a personal catalog, and that is very unusual in the watch business.
Especially at the price point, which is you see it all over the forums, which are like there is no Nomos alternative because they
Right.
are following their own design languages.
Exactly.
They have their in-house caliber.
Yep.
And their watches are very distinctly, they fit into the watch category. You can go Bauhaus,
Yep.
but you can go Bauhaus with a twist and have more color.
Buying a watch with color is not just a way to stand out, but it's also a way, again, without being too dramatic, to feel more individual, more empowered. It is a cool feeling.
Yeah.
It's just a cool feeling. So that was the topic that we tackled, and we're about to show you guys our most recent film. And that's the topic that we tackled in this film, right?
Yep.
Instead of one of us just sitting here and telling you to wear a watch with color, I thought that it would be actually a better idea to find someone who truly, truly embodies that message in everything they do.
Yes.
And we do too, but this
Not-
guy
not like
way better than us.
Yeah, right, right.
So the subject, Ed, I've known him. He was my soccer coach when I was like 7, and now I'm 27. So we've known each other for a long. We didn't talk for 20 years, but
Yeah, right.
last
big
year,
disagreement over the last goal.
over
of
the
game.
goal, yeah. But this guy, when I was a kid, I always noticed that the rest of the dads looked the same, and this dad didn't.
Right,
You know, he
right.
looked totally different. He almost never wore shoes. Yeah, and he always looked different. And he was an individual. He
Yeah.
laughed more than everyone else. It seemed like he was more comfortable.
He was in
When
on the joke.
When the rest of the dads had their pissing contests on the sidelines in their chinos, you know, whatever.
Yep.
He was having fun. And that always inspired me. And it probably inspires me even more now that I'm in the professional world, and now you become one of those dads. I'm not a dad, but you become one of
I was
those
gonna
guys in a sea of, no offense, guys, but
Yeah.
in a sea of people who are a little bit afraid to be themselves. It is cool to take a little bit of inspiration from the guy that maybe is himself to an extreme.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the film. So you shot it.
I shot it. Our good friend Malcolm edited it.
Yep.
Did a fantastic job.
And I guess we hope you enjoy this most recent piece with Nomos. That's it.
I feel like we're at a movie theater.
Six, 7, 8, 9, 10.
More echo, right?
Holy smokes.
Time goes by when you're having fun. And it does hurry on, whether you like it or not. So you better start liking it. Ed Helmstetter, Cranford, New Jersey. Proud Cranfordian, right. Proud to be part of this community. Been playing music in the community for about 30, 40 years now. Still doing it, still having a good time. Who has it better than me? Nobody's got it better than me. My brother taught me how to play Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. I think maybe I was 10, 11, 12 years old. I was a young kid. I was born in '63. I was very, very young when all that stuff was going on. You know, you learn a couple of those songs and you just start playing them and you think, this is the greatest thing. This is the greatest feeling in the world. Until you start meeting some other people who know how to play and you start playing with them, you're like, this is the greatest feeling in the world, you know? It was a great time, you know, to be a kid and to hear all that. And it just hit so, I don't know, kind of very important to me. It was kind of like, that's a cool time. It's a cool thing. I don't think we should let that die.
Maybe too loud for you.
So what I try to do, I try to bring across the spirit of the song, where people are going to say, yeah, that's that song, and I love it. I loved it, listening to the radio, and I loved hearing it from you. The song is accepted and loved for a reason. And who doesn't like those classic old tunes? I like listening to them. I like playing them. Whether there's money involved or not, it doesn't fucking matter. You know, I'll pay to do it. Go with the tie-dyes and long hair and bandana and stuff until actually later in life. So I guess I was kind of like settling in. I was like, okay, this is what I am. And present to the world and say, here I am, take it or leave it. And it's much better than being drab.
That's how we do
Put it that way.
Get used to it.
When I was growing up, and then it became a time for me to kind of make my own little place, and like it was time to choose a color to paint the walls. My mom's like, why not a color? You know, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? It's the color that you chose to paint your room. Are you gonna choose an off-white, or are you gonna choose like a fucking orange? You know what I mean? If you have the confidence to wear a color and stand up and be able to stand with the color and be as confident as the color is, I think that's saying something about the individual. I am all about time. Time is like, it's so important to me. It's an obsession, and it's everything that I am. Like last night we played, it was a very receptive crowd. They liked it. Everything we did, they laughed and they clapped. An hour goes by, it felt like it was 10 minutes. There's no time like the present, right? And if you're gonna give somebody a present, there's no present like the time. If you're gonna give them a nice watch, right? not having to answer another person and being your own person is pretty much what everybody wants to ultimately eventually get to. Yeah, it's freedom, right? Freedom is it's pretty damn good. It's what every living soul on this earth is striving for. Freedom. Sooner or later. Hopefully sooner. Paint that room orange. Show everybody that room. Stand in front of it and say, this is my room. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. How's that? Oh, I wish I could say that.